My name is Robert, the motherfucking George, and I'm helping people build their personal brand to 5K per month. And today I want to talk about some things that I learned from the book of Influence, the psychology of persuasion. I want to talk about three things which I just wrote down here in really small that I can think back. Fixed action patterns, trigger future, and contrast principle. This is the weapons of influence that people, the big brands, the big businesses, the big companies use against you. So let us talk about fixed action patterns first. So what I don't want to talk about fixed action patterns in a form that let me tell you what it is, but I want to tell you an example first. And in the book, the example is really easy. There's a guy from India who had a shop, and in the shop they were selling jewelry. In the jewelry, there was a blue talisman, or that blue thing, like looks great. And the business owner had that for a time when it was the biggest traffic, like everyone was going there and all that. And it costed X amount, let's say it's X. It was X. And people didn't buy it, like no one bought it. Like there was no sale for that item, for that blue talisman. Everything else was selling very good, but this wasn't. And they tried everything. They put it on different shelves and they did everything they could in order to make this sell. Of course, nothing worked. So, what they do is really simple. One day, the owner of the company or the shop was at home and was very angry. They wasn't able to sell. So, when he left the shop, he was in the shop. When he left the shop, he wrote a letter with really bad handwriting, like something like this. It could look something like this. He wrote down that he wants these products to be halved, like the price should be half of the real price. And the other day, when the salesperson come to start the business, like start the shop and wait for the traffic, he watched that letter and read it, and it was so badly written that he had the idea of he have to sell it for 2 times the price, like for the 2 times of the price. And he put it on the shelf for 2 times the price. And what happened was really interesting because each and every talisman was sold that day, each and every one, which they like it was doubled, the price was doubled. And it's very, very interesting to see this because it's like a fixed action pattern, and a fixed action pattern means that because of a trigger, a complex or not really complex a sequence of action happens. Like, for an example, this. People went to the store and they saw that the jewelry, like X jewelry, was Y amount. And they thought that this is cheap. What they thought is that because it's cheap, can you see this? No, you can't. I here wrote cheap. Because they thought that it was cheap, what they thought about the product is it's fake. So they didn't buy it. When X item was double the price, like 2Y, they thought that it's expensive. So what they did, they correlated with being expensive that product is unique and rare. Like, this is a really interesting action pattern that happened with these people. Now, there is no fixed action pattern without a trigger feature. Yeah, trigger feature. So fixed action pattern and trigger feature. Trigger feature. And this trigger feature is how this fixed action pattern starts. And as I stated, these are some sequence of actions put into place until it's done. Like, oh, it's a next, it's a check mark. So, trigger feature. But it's not so similar like expensive means good. It's not this simple. Trigger features are really, really small things that start this sequence. Now let me state it for you. How can you imagine it? There is a bird, which name I don't know, but the bird has, this is a bird, the circle is the bird, and it has red, how do you say this, feathers. It has red feathers. And this bird is protecting his territory. Like this is the territory he has. Territory, sorry, not territory. Territory. He's protecting this space of his own. Now, researchers found out that if a bird enters, which is the same type of bird, he will attack it. Now, it's not in the form of attack it, but and attacking it, it like triggers a few, like, sorry, again. This bird is saving or defending this territory. And this bird is a territorial bird, so if another bird of the same species enters, he will attack that because it's that space. And this is a trigger feature that that animal has. In the same way, if this trigger feature enters that a bird is there, they will attack it. This is a sequence. Now, what they found out is that, let's say here it enters, I have to, they put here 1 and 2 in the territory of this bird. 1, where can you see it? 1 and 2. The 1 was a perfect, like literal perfect copy of this bird, but without the red feathers. And the other thing, the second, was literally a bunch of feathers within the same color. Nothing else, just feathers. There was no bird. Oh, why can't you see it? Here. It was literally just, how do you call this? It was literally just feathers. Just a bunch of feathers. Nothing else, just feathers. That was it. What happened is that this bird attacked the feathers. Not the exact copy of this bird without the red feathers. No. The bunch of red feathers. What it means is that the trigger feature of that bird is not the bird itself, but it's just the feathers. And that's all. Like, the defending mechanism started only by the feathers. And this is a weapon of influence that people use for against you. And let me tell you how. There is a very, very good example for this, and you will not believe it when I tell you how it looks. So this is, it was in a library. Like, we people have the same style of trigger feature and fixed action patterns. And let me tell you why. Here it's a line of people waiting. Line of people. And the research was done in a way that there was a person, I will draw that person with a different color. This person, how does this look like? There was this person who was the part of a research group. Now what he did is he or she, doesn't matter, wanted to get into the first spot. Like, he wanted to go faster and faster and faster, like he was rushing. And there was a study done in this way. The woman or man, doesn't matter, asked the guy or anyone who was in front of him that, please let me go in front of you because I'm in a rush. Or no, sorry, again, because it's very important. That person, this person who was in a rush, asked the person who was in front of her that, I'm in a rush, please let me go in front of you. This was the question. And when that person only asked this question, in the line, 60% of the people have said, yes, go in front of me. 60%. He asked, they let him in front of him. Now, at other times, this person asked this question. I'm in a rush. Can you please enable me to go in front of you because I have to go to work? So he or she said because she said a reason. And when she said a logical good reason, it was 94%. Now it's really amazing what's the difference. It's 47%. Now here comes the trick. When the same study was done and the woman or man, doesn't matter, asked the question from the guy or person in front of him that can she go more faster because he is in a rush. This my English is really bad right now, sorry. If you're still watching, sorry, my English is really bad. The research people's groups, patient, people, yes. So let's say this is a man. So when the man asked the people in front of him to enable him to go in front, he said this. I'm in a rush. Can I please go in front of you because I have to make copies? So you have to know that everyone in this line was waiting in a library for copying some papers. So everyone in the line was waiting for the same thing. And the man asked that, can I go in front of you because I have to, because I'm in a rush. So I'm in a rush, can I go in front of you because I have to make some copies. So it was an illogical, there was no logical reason there said, because everyone waited for the same thing, and the percentage of how many people let that man in front of them is 93%. It's 1% less than with a logical reason. And what does it mean for us? This is logical, and this is unlogical, is that the trigger feature is not the reason, but the trigger feature was the because. Here there was no reason said, no reason. So there was no because said. Here there was because and because. Even though it was logical and here unlogical, the percentage was 1% different. That's all. What does it mean for us? That the trigger feature is the word because. That's all. And this is like literally amazing when you know about this, when you learn about this. So yeah, trigger feature, amazing stuff. And one thing that I want to also say is contrast principle. What is contrast principle? The contrast principle is really easy because it states that when two different things is shown to you, and if they are not the same, you will feel the difference bigger than there is nothing shown at the first place. Like, let's say there is two, how do you say this? There's two weights shown. The first one, you have to lift it. The first one is 5 kgs and the second one is 7 kgs. You will not feel the difference of 2 kgs, but you will feel like a difference of 5 kgs because the contrast principle states that the difference will feel bigger when the first one is a smaller one and the next one is a bigger one. And that's basically it. yeah, I wanted to talk about this. The contrast principle is very good. There was a example in the book which was in 1930s. In the 1930s time, there was a tailor shop where people were selling, suits, and the salesperson who were trying to sell the suit, like when trying to sell the suit, was acting as someone who spoke a little bit slow, and he couldn't hear really good. And what happened is that when the customer got a good suit that he liked and wanted to buy, the customer asked for the amount. And the salesperson asked in the back room for the price. Like he was next to the customer and yelled back that, what's the price of this suit? And they answered for an amount. It was, in the example, it was $42. It was $42. And he didn't hear it really well, and he did it again. Please tell me again. He said it back again. It's $42. And because he played the person of not hearing good, he told the customer that it's only $22 because he doesn't really hear that good. Like he said that it's $22, and because the customer heard that it's $42 and it's $22, the price that he's selling, because he didn't hear it correctly, the customers ASAP bought this product. It was ASAP a buy. And why? Because this was also a bit expensive in that time, but they have seen that this is a big amount, and we went from the lower amount, and in the contrast principle it works like contradictory to this, like it's 5 to 7, but it's 42 to 72, because lower prices make you want to buy that product. So they thought that this product is amazing, and I want to buy it because it's a huge discount, like $20, but it felt so much bigger because it was, not like it wasn't convinced, like it wasn't directly did it, like it was an accident. And also this is a trigger future also, because when that guy seen that it's a mistake, like they did a mistake here, he bought that product ASAP like this. Of course, this was the price they wanted to sell, but this form they could make much more easily sales. And yeah, that's it. I have a free training which can help you start generating $2,000 per month from your personal brand if you are interested. And you don't have to click it. It's there. See ya.